Well, hey guys, it's Jasvinder. I've been trying to think of some kind of tagline like, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm not Spider-Man, I also don't live in your neighborhood, but I am friendly, so it's your friendly Jasvinder. I gotta work on this. Anyway, what I'm here to talk to you guys about is the virtue of mistakes. And we all talk about avoiding mistakes. I think it is wise to avoid mistakes. I do my best to avoid mistakes. But a lot of amazing things have come from things that were really bad decisions, things that were short sighted and misguided, and things that I would never advise anyone to do. However, I'm going to lay out a timeline here, and I think that'll make the point for me. So I got accepted to USC's jazz guitar performance department in 2001. Very hard to get into. Took 8 to 10 people a year. Very prestigious. You could learn a lot. I did learn a lot, but I also didn't quite jive with some aspects of it. And one of the reasons I failed to live up to, well, one of the reasons I failed to rise to the occasion is, full disclosure, I sort of fell in with the wrong crowd. People who were too much into drinking and drugs. And a lot of those guys dropped out of college, and I dropped out of college too. So that's not something I would suggest to do. I wouldn't ever suggest drop out of college. However, because of that and because I moved in with these guys, what ended up happening was I got this job at a Kinko's on USC's campus, and I think maybe a week into that job, one of my roommates bleached a Japanese symbol into the back of my head and bleached the top of my head, and then I got fired from that job. Shocker. Well, I go home and I go, hey, you know what? Because you idiots just did this and I got fired and I was the idiot who let you, you need to give me another job. So they actually did, and that's how I got hired at a place called The Standard. It was a hotel on the Sunset Strip, well, it still is, but I don't work there anymore. And I hated that job. 2 years into that job, I had an explosive temper. I was one of these guys trying to make it in music and working what you would call a shitty day job, all the while, hoping things were going to work out somehow. But that's where I met this guy named Eddie Zamora. And Eddie takes me aside one day and he goes, have you ever tried yoga? And I said, no, I've never done yoga. And he goes, well, it's really relaxing and you need to do it. So I did. I actually started doing yoga. Well, what happened? I quit drinking. I quit drugs. I quit everything. I cleaned up my life big time. I went back to school and eventually finished my degree. I went to UCLA and finished a degree in ethnomusicology. I became a meditation teacher. And because being a meditation teacher was on my resume, I was recruited by a financial advisory company who liked the idea of someone who could explain difficult concepts. And they wanted to go outside the box. And that's how I started to bridge between being a meditation teacher to being a self-development coach and everything happening now.